Welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful rainy Tuesday here in New York, which is a perfect weather to stay inside and obsess over the latest Port Charles drama. Today we are breaking down Anna Dian's imminent return from France, Willow's shocking power play, and Laura's absolute masterclass in strategy against Colum. Let's get into it. I cannot believe they are actually doing this. I am literally typing this up at 2 a.m. because my brain will not shut off after watching that episode. I am half celebrating and half complaining, because why on earth did it take the writers this long to give us this level of payoff? But oh my god, the payoff is going to be legendary. I've been watching this show since 2015, and I have sat through some absolute garbage storylines where characters acted completely out of character just to drag a plot out. But this is the best thing they've done in years. They are finally using the rich, deep history of these characters instead of just making them act like idiots. I am talking about Anna Dian, people. I am talking about the absolute glorious collapse of Ross Cullum's empire, and it is all going to happen because these arrogant villains completely underestimated the women of Port Charles. Am I the only one who was screaming at the TV when the pieces finally clicked together? Because it is brilliant. It is just so incredibly brilliant. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let me back up because we absolutely have to talk about Willow Tate first. I know some people are loving this new ruthless era of Willow, but personally, I am just in a state of pure shock. Willow Tate quietly pulled strings today to get Anna transferred back to the private clinic in France instead of that maximum security government facility. Are you kidding me, Willow? The former cult member, the sweet school teacher who used to cry over every little moral dilemma, is now a hospital administrator, manipulating an international medical transfer for a woman, and the French government considers a dangerous fugitive. She is risking her entire career, her freedom, and her family to do this. And she did it on the exact same day she begged her mother, Nena, to stop visiting Jack Brennan. Willow is choosing sides. She is officially in the mud playing the dangerous game, and she is firmly on Anna's side. She is on Laura's side. She is doing the dirty work that the mayor of Port Charles asked her to do, and I am absolutely here for it. It is a massive risk, but it is exactly the kind of character evolution I have been begging for since she married Michael. And speaking of the mayor, can we talk about Laura Collins for a second? Because Laura is playing 4D chess, while Cullum and Jen Sidwell are playing checkers in the dirt. Laura has been quietly running this entire counter move for months. She is the one who asked Willow to pull the transfer strings behind the scenes. She is the one who asked Sonny Corinthos to go after Sidwell at Pasulo's to create a distraction. She is the one who told Lulu to take Rocco and disappear because she knew the heat was coming down hard. Laura is positioning every single piece on the board for the exact moment Anna lands. Remember when they tried to make Laura a passive mayor who just sat behind a desk and wrung her hands over the city's crime rate? Yeah, didn't work then either. This is the Laura we know and love. The woman who took down the Cassadines back in the day is back, and she is orchestrating a masterclass in espionage right under the villains' noses. It gives me chills just thinking about how perfectly she has set this trap. So here is the situation in France right now. Felicia Scorpio was absolutely thrilled, and honestly so was I when I heard the dialogue. The French police told her that the charges against Anna would be completely dropped the second she is medically cleared from this private clinic. That clearance is literally the only thing standing between Anna Dian and a flight straight back to Port Charles. And let's be real. For a second, Anna's going to pass that medical evaluation with flying colors. She is a seasoned WSB veteran. She knows exactly what to say, how to act, and how to manipulate those doctors to get them to sign off on her release. She is going to walk out of that clinic a free woman. The French case is going to completely dissolve into thin air. And the moment she is cleared, she is going to board the next plane with one specific Windir address committed to memory and one very lethal mission in her head. I am so ready for this comeback because here is the unhinged theory that is actually 100% fact at this point. Anna Dian is the only living person who knows the exact layout of the Windmere basement where Sidwell and Cullum have been holding their captives for this illegal plasma operation. Anna spent weeks in that miserable damp room. She was taken on the 31st of October, 2025, and she survived it. But she didn't just survive it. She mapped every single inch of it in her mind. She knows the heavy door. She knows the dark hallway. She knows the guard rotations. She is the one who wrote that terrifying message on the wall that Josen Jax has been staring at for days. And more importantly, Anna stashed a lockpick and a blade inside the mattress because she absolutely knew in her gut that the next agent or innocent victim in that room would need every single advantage she had built. She left a survival kit. Anna Dean is the ultimate badass, and I will fight anyone in the comments who says otherwise. And right now, Josen Jax is sitting in that exact same room. I have had my issues with Josen in the past. I really have. Sometimes she acts way too much like Carly for her own good, rushing into danger without thinking and expecting everyone else to clean up her mess. But right now, my heart is breaking for her and I am rooting for her so hard. Joss has Anna's notes. Joss found the lockpick and the blade in the mattress yesterday. She has the tools. She even smashed a chair over Cash's head to try and escape. But the only thing Jocelyn does not have is backup. She's trapped on Spoon Island, surrounded by ruthless mercenaries, and Cassius is delusional enough to think he can just keep her there off Cullum's books forever. But what Joss doesn't know is that the backup is already on the way. Anna is the rescue plan that Joss doesn't even know is coming. And the second that French Clinic clears her, the rescue plan boards a plane and the countdown begins. The column side of this equation is what should have him sleeping with one eye open. But he is way too arrogant to see the freight train coming right at him. Ross Cullum has spent months building this massive, highly illegal plasma operation around the assumption that nobody knew Anna had been held there. He thought he was a ghost. He thought his Windmere operation was bulletproof and off the grid. Nobody knew the basement layout. Nobody knew about the writing on the wall. Nobody knew about the lockpick in the mattress. The whole reason Cases was keeping JSON off Cullum's books was to protect her from being moved. But it also means Cullum doesn't realize how compromised his own holding cell actually is. And the whole reason Cullum arranged for Anna to be shipped to a government facility in France was to bury her testimony where no international judge could ever subpoena it. He thought he won. He thought he buried the only witness who could tear down his empire. But that bet is about to lose, and it is going to lose spectacularly. Anna Dean is coming home. I can already see the scene playing out in my head, and it is glorious. And the WSB is going to debrief her in a Port Charles safe house within 48 hours of her landing. And the very first thing Anna is going to tell them is the address to that Windermere basement. Column is going to get raided. Sidwell is going to get raided. That basement is going to get cleared out by a heavily armed tactical team. And I am going to be cheering at my television like a maniac. Jocelyn is going to walk out of that dark, damp hallway under Anna's arm, and it is going to be one of the most iconic, empowering moments of the year. The plasma operation is going to be exposed on every single news ticker in Port Charles by the end of the week, and the Vision won't even know what hit them. I mean, think about the poetic justice here. Let that sink in for a minute. The man who thought he had buried his evidence in a French psychiatric clinic is going to find out that the evidence had her own escape plan the entire time. Ross Cullum has been walking around Port Charles like he owns the place. He has been menacing teenage Danny in the Windmere tunnels, threatening a paralyzed Jack Brandon in his hospital bed at GH, and acting like he is completely untouchable. I am so sick of his smug face and his condescending attitude, but he has been quietly served notice, and he doesn't even know it yet. He thinks he has hours to consolidate his hold on the operation and clean up his loose ends. He thinks he can just eliminate Rock Falconer and cover up Marco Rios's murder without any consequences, but he is out of time. The clock has officially run out on his reign of terror, and this all comes back to Laura. The moment Anna lands on U.S. soil, Laura's plan goes completely operational. Bring the popcorn, guys, because this is going to be absolute cinema. Laura has been sitting in the mayor's office dealing with Jen Sidwell's ridiculous helipad demands, playing the compliant, stressed-out politician while secretly sharpening the knives under her desk. She used Willow to bypass the government red tape and secure Anna's freedom. She used Sunny as the muscle to distract Sidwell and keep him looking the wrong way. And now, she has the WSB's finest agent ready to strike the fatal blow. It is a beautifully constructed trap, and Cullum is walking right into it with a blindfold on. I haven't been this excited for a storyline climax since the whole Cassadine Island explosion years ago. This is vintage soap opera storytelling at its absolute finest. But I keep going back to Willow because her involvement is just blowing my mind the more I think about it. We are talking about a woman who used to be so paralyzed by her own morality that she couldn't make a tough choice to save her life. Now, she is holding Drew Kane hostage in his own body, with paralytics lying straight to Naz's face.